right, welcome to BetRivers Ballers. I'm your host, AJ Bramlett, back at it again. My man, super producer, Ryan Wall. And another solid week for our Cats, man. Thought there was two good games, a super victory on Saturday night. What were your thoughts after the weekend?
Yeah, 2-0 this week. Arizona is now 2 in the country, AJ, for the first time in over 4 years, behind Gonzaga, as Gonzaga is number one. But yeah, I thought it was a great weekend. I really was excited. We could start off with that game against Oregon on ESPN. College Game Day was in Tucson. It was wild. Great atmosphere. But yeah, I want to say that, yeah, I think it was a great stretch of games. That Oregon game was a great win. I liked how it was late in the game. It was very close, and they pulled out that win, because it seems like they just stepped up. Kirk Crease hit that deep 30-foot three-pointer at the end of the shot clock. Matherin had a big shot. I mean, I really love to see the guys, come up big. What did you think about that win?
Yeah, I thought that, that we took Oregon's best shot. And Oregon, historically always plays well against us. And so they came out ready to go. I mean, that's probably the best basketball they played, this season, even though they didn't get the victory. But I mean, we had to battle back so many times in that game. And, I think in past games and past years, that would have been a game that Arizona probably would have lost. And so, to see them make the plays at the end of the game, not get down when we got, down a few points and Oregon was on a run, just stick with it, keep making the plays, keep sticking to the game plan, the pace, the offense, the principles of what Arizona basketball is. And then for, Kerr to step up and hit a big shot, Ben to hit one, and just guys made the plays that we needed to. I think that was a great sign for us because we've won, we haven't had a ton of games that have had those situations for us to be in. And, we've lost on the road in some of those. But besides that, like we've won in so many different ways now that, it's comforting to know that, okay, no matter how the game goes, we can find a way to pull out a victory.
Yeah, and I just think Benek Matherin, enough good things can't be said. Over the last 2 weeks, we talked about him last week. But again, I mean, this weekend, I mean, he's had 5 straight games, 18 or more points. And this game, he just starts to impact the game in different ways. It's not all scoring, passing, rebounding, playmaking. He finished the game 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 3-pointers. And he's just been over the last 3 games, he's had 11 3-pointers, and he just keeps getting more comfortable and more confident. I mean, what'd you see from him in the stretch against Oregon?
Ben's scoring has been amazing. It's been back to what we kind of expect from him. And I think he's evolving as a player, though. It's because he's not totally relying on his jump shot, or he's not totally relying on just getting dunks on the fast break. Now he's mixing it up. His floater's been looking really good, but his assist and his playmaking is what's been, on the uptick to me, is him coming off pick and rolls, aggressively downhill, and then making a lot of really good passes, for easy buckets or a pass to the assist or whatever, just making those reads. I think he's been getting a really, he's gotten a lot better at that over the past month or so. And so that just adds a totally different dimension to him. And he's playing some really good basketball right now, which is fun to see because he's an exciting player and it's great for the team.
Yeah, when Tommy Lloyd, came here about a year ago, he said that, because last year Matherin under Sean Miller's offense, he didn't handle the ball a lot because the offense was a lot less movement, energy, and he just was a catch and shoot guy, drove to the basket. But now, I mean, looking as a two-way player that going to handle the ball and help everybody else it's really just great to see. And the other guy, I mean, he's been the most stable guy probably the last 2 years, besides when he got hurt a little bit. But I mean, Tubelis continues to just be very efficient in his scoring, and he's such a more athletic player this year than I feel like he has been in the past. And I feel like if those two guys are playing like that, they're tough to beat against anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zoo has been, he's been, like we've said, the rock all season long. He just knows how to score, man. And it's like he makes it look so easy. And it's a lot of it has to do with his positioning and him reading the play and being always in the right spot to be able to get easy baskets, read the defense. His duck ins are great. But he's always just around the basket in the right position, and he's got great touch and those short shots that he makes, those 4 to 5 footers, floaters and hooks, and those aren't easy shots to make. You know what I mean? He makes it look easy, but for most players, and those are more difficult than shooting a 15-foot jumper or a three. Like it's a weird kind of, 3 to 6 foot radius where it's those are tough shots, and he makes those look easy every single game. He runs the court extremely hard. He's playing really good defense. And so ever since he's been back to full speed, I mean, we've been pretty much back on the train and rolling through people.
Yeah, and the thing that's crazy to look about this team, AJ, is that they're number 2 in the country, but there's still room to grow, and they keep improving every single week of the season. We're coming down to the last 2 weeks of the season, 5 games to go in that short span. But it seems like, another guy, Dalen Terry, we've been high on him all season,
Yep.
but he keeps getting a more efficient when he's scoring, and he's more confident to score and to hit those shots. He was 13 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 for 7 from the field. And then Pella, brought 11 points off the bench. And
Yep.
he's another guy who, him and Umar off the bench have been, as impactful and important to this team as anybody. I mean, what did you see for those 3 guys
Well,
in these 2 games?
DT I love because we've talked about this all year long. The more confident that he gets on offense, the better it's going to be for everybody because he does everything else so well that when he's being aggressive, that just opens up his facilitating even more because guys have to respect his ability to score. Then he's already able to drop it off for easy baskets and things like that, but it just even opens up the floor even more when he's coming off being aggressive. And I think he's really, found some comfort in where he can score, with this team and found some, corner threes that he's pretty comfortable knocking down now. And so, DT's been playing exceptionally well. As far as Pella's is another guy that every single game you see a little bit more of what he could be. You know what I mean? And so I think he's getting more comfortable. We talked about it with him when he was on the pod that he's, kind of came back from injury early in the season. It took him a little while to kind of get, ingratiated into the team. But now he's feeling comfortable. He's a guy that will do anything that it takes to win. He's not going to force anything, but he has the ability. He's one of the guys that could go for 20 in the tournament. If guys are having an off game, he has the ability to go, hit 3 or 4 threes, have a 20-point game when we need it most during the tournament. And then Umar, who's just been playing exceptional basketball, his stock is just going like this because every single game he gets more comfortable. He brings that energy and effort every single game. He dominates rebounds, and he's scoring the basketball, pretty well right now. So all those guys have just contributed greatly to this run, and hopefully, just like you said, there's still a lot of room to go. Like they haven't maxed out, so there's still a higher ceiling for all of those guys.
Yeah, and Umar might be the most just to hear the fan
Yeah.
reaction this past Saturday. He might be the most popular player on this team. The fans love him, and it's crazy because they haven't known him for that long. He's been here for about a year, and it's just through the past about 2 months when he's been getting more run here down the stretch. But yeah, this team is the 2 issues that we've talked a lot about 3-point shooting, turnovers. I mean, they've gotten really better. They've got a lot better, improved those areas, and just it seems like the sky could be the limit with this team. The one thing I wanted to ask you, AJ, is that we've talked about that winning mentality from
Yeah.
players, but also a lot of teams, and you could kind of compare us to your situation 25 years ago, but when players have a winning mentality, they buy in. For the bigger goal, and the
Yeah.
bigger goal is to win the championship. It just seems to me, at least, that it seems like every player is just buying in and playing the role they need to play. And I got another guy that we've talked a lot about, Justin Kier. He's bought in
Yeah.
as a 6-year player to provide that energy, effort, as an older guy. But so what do you think about that? You think that maybe they're all buying in to try to make a run down the stretch?
I mean, we've seen that all year long, man. They've bought in from day one, really. And guys, every time we have someone on and we talk to them, they all say the same thing, right? Well, whatever we need to do to win, you know what I mean? I'm happy for the next guy if he's coming in playing well. You know what I mean? There's no jealousy. There's no one-upsmanship on this team. Like everyone's together, and their only goal is to win basketball games. You could tell that. You could tell that they like each other, which we talk about a lot. The chemistry, all of that, and those are winning. That's a winning formula, and that could take them a long way. They have all the talent in the world. They have size. You know what I mean? They have discipline. They have all the traits that they need to make a deep run and to really take a shot at it this year. Of course, you need some luck with that. but the basic core pillars of what Arizona basketball is right now, just it really leads towards winning. You know what I mean, and winning for the long haul. So they're in a great position right now.
Yeah, because I'm sure throughout your basketball career, you've been on a lot of great teams that had great talent, but maybe all the other things, weren't working. Maybe there wasn't the chemistry. Maybe
Yep.
everyone wasn't buying in, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what I told you about our '98 team, man. Like we were, we were way better that year. We were basketball wise the best team I'd ever played on in my life. Like we made a few mistakes, up until that last game. We played, extremely well as a basketball unit, but it just wasn't the same, energy and feeling because guys were stressed about trying to go to the league or whatever it was. It just wasn't the same as the year before when we had that chemistry. I see the '97 type chemistry in this team.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you another thing is that looking back now, we're about, 12, we're about 11 months removed from, the end of last season when Arizona had the self-imposed ban. It was Sean Miller's last season. We didn't know that during the season, but, it kind of was a weird ending to the year. We didn't get to see the young players in the tournament. But do you think this program right now is the best it's been in years? And how do you think that they got here, because it's really crazy to just think about that they can be competing and will be for a Pac-12 championship here. And 12 months ago, that wasn't the case that this would happen.
I think there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you have to give, Sean Miller credit because of the guys that he brought in and developed and, the job that he did with those guys. But I think a lot of it has to do with Tommy Lloyd. I mean, the best thing that he did was that he was able to convince all the guys to stay, after Coach Miller left. Like if we had, if guys had transferred out of here and didn't believe in what Coach Lloyd, was telling them that the program was going to be, like we would be in a terrible position right now. But he was able to keep those guys on, have them believe almost from day one. Started with, I think, Curve Creaser was the first one I heard kind of come out and talk about that. That I talked with Coach Lloyd, and I believe in the formula and what he's trying to build here. And so that really started it off. But yes, I mean, Arizona's in the best position it's ever, been in a long time right now because of the image of the program, the style of play, the guys that we have on the team. I think we're going to see recruiting efforts go way up too. I mean, just why would you want to play at Arizona right now? You know what I mean? And so I think it's just, we're in a good position right now. Hopefully we keep running it up. And if we can get to a Final Four, that's going to put us in an even better position.
Yeah, and AJ, before we go this week, Arizona, as I mentioned, 5 games throughout the next 2 weeks. But this coming week, they have 3 games. I believe it's their third 3-game week of the season here. But how do you think they're going to fare? They go on the road to Utah, Colorado, and then they go to USC, and then they come back for 2 more to wrap up the season. But how do you think they'll fare in those first 2 games? Will probably be a little bit easier, right? And then the USC game, they gave Arizona some trouble about 2 weeks ago. So what do you
Yeah,
expect this weekend?
I think road games are always tough, but this team has played better on the road. A lot of times. I think they're the type of team that gets up for those kind of challenges. Colorado and Utah are both not easy places to play, and those teams play well at home. So, I expect them, not to be, blowouts. But I've said that earlier, and I thought on the Washington trip it would be would be a little bit tougher for them, but they were able to pull out, really strong victories there. So, I think the way that we're playing right now, I mean, I think we're going to keep it rolling for sure. And we're playing really good basketball, and guys are getting better every single game. The USC game, I think, will be tough just because they match up, a little bit better with us size wise and things like that. But, I don't see anything, getting in our way, before the Pac-12 tournament. But you always have to take care of business one game at a time. And I think Tommy Lloyd's done an exceptional job of having these guys ready every single game almost this year.
Yeah, Tommy always, says it's like the other day when they talked about it. After the Oregon State game, somebody asked about the California teams down the stretch, and he said he doesn't know when they play, what time, what
Yep.
day. So that's his mindset. It's just next game. That's how they move, and they're only one game at a time. I feel like that plays a big part. But anything else you wanted to add before we get into our guest today?
No, I just think it's. I think we all need to just be thankful for this year so far, man. Because, like we've talked about before, though, early in the season, nobody expected this. The ride that we're on right now is something that doesn't happen all the time, and so I think Arizona fans should be thankful for the basketball we're getting to witness and the type of team and personalities that we have right now. And it's just a good time to be a Wildcat. So we gotta, be thankful for what we have right now.
Yeah, and speaking of great personalities, HJ, tell them what great personality we have on the show next.
Yes, I've been waiting for this one for a while. Fan favorite, the big fella in the middle, Big O, Mr. Umar Ballo will join us next on Bear Down Baller. It's going to be a fun one. Before we move on to the next topic, let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with BetRivers yet, now's the time because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one playthrough to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Play Instant Approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With basketball season tipping off, get in on the action by going to betrivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, welcome right now. I want to welcome the big fella, a man that once had 32 rebounds in a game and is holding down the paint for Arizona every night out. Mr. Oumar Ballo, welcome into Bear Down Ballers, my man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's jump right in, man. I think you're having an incredible season. I just want to go back kind of a little bit to your upbringing and like when you started playing basketball. I know you and CeeLo both were soccer guys, I believe, growing up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
talk to me a little bit about that. How that I played soccer also until I got to high school. It really helped me develop as a big man. Do you think that playing that sport really like affected your game as a basketball player as well?
Yeah, for sure. As you said, back home, everyone like start playing soccer first, and that was my case. All my friends were soccer players, and in my high school, we all used to play soccer since I was really young, and then I realized I was getting pretty tall to play soccer, and then I had to switch sport, and I had no friend at basketball, but I went there, I tried for a week, didn't like it, went back to play soccer for another month, and then came back again. And then I started making friends in my new team, and then I fell in love with basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you chose the right one, man. I think how things are going right now. I think you definitely made the right choice. I know also on your journey, you spent some time in Spain developing your game when you were young. I played in Spain for 7 years, played in the ACB for 7 years. Spain was a great country. Love that place. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that, like your time there, and how it kind of helped you develop, and how your time went when you were in Spain.
Spain was great. I moved there when I was 12, 13, and I stayed there for a couple of years. So it helped me a lot to develop as a basketball player and also to, speak Spanish and English. So that really helped me a lot for my future. And also, I really understand the game of basketball when I was in Spain because I started basketball for like 2 years. And my third year, I went to Spain. So I was pretty new at playing basketball. And then I fully started developing in Spain.
They're practicing you a lot over there, I'm sure, man. Would you get
Oh yeah,
three times a day at least?
it was crazy. Yeah, we used to wake up early in the morning, 5 a.m., do the first section, and then around noon come to the second section, and then after school we go to the third section. It was crazy. It was a lot for our young guys, but I stuck with it, and helped me a lot.
Yeah, they're serious about conditioning over there too, man. I remember the first time I got there, I got off the plane. They were like, "We're going to run right away." I was like, "I just got off the plane."
Yeah, yeah,
24 hours.
yeah.
So before we move on from that, though, man, one of the most important keys to winning, you've been doing a heck of a job with it this year, rebounding the basketball. I mentioned this in the opening. I love that aspect of your game and really your team's game in general. But I saw that when you played the U17s back in the day, you had a 32-point
Yeah.
and 32 rebound game in the same game, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My high was 22. I could never get more than 22. So how were you
I
able
mean,
to get
that's a
32
lot.
rebounds in the game, bro?
Yeah, we went to double overtime, I think. So that gave me some time, to grab more rebound and then score more points because it was a really hard game against Dominic Republic. I think that we were playing against them and we went to a double or triple overtime. I can't remember, but that game was really crazy, and I didn't even know I got 32 rebounds. I thought I got like 20 or like 22, something like that, But after the game, I saw the star. I was like, oh wow, did I really grab 32 rebounds? It was
That's some Will Chamberlain numbers, man. Nobody's putting up numbers like that, bro. So I read also that they used to call you Baby Shaq, or you were, kind of a big fan of Shaquille O'Neal growing up, which is a great person to emulate and look after. Is there a current NBA player that you try to take parts of their game now that you watch in the league that you try to take pieces of, or is there any of it? Like, who is your favorite player that you follow in the league now?
Oh, honestly, I like watching Clint, Capela, and Joel Embiid right now. Because they are like big bodies, and I feel like watching them will help me. The way that Clint Capela rebound the ball and his movement, how he go on offensive rebound, and then how he does his box out and stuff like that. I like watching that. And Joel Embiid, I like watching his footwork. He has a crazy, crazy footwork, and I like watching those two big men.
You think Tommy Lloyd's going to let you hit that step back 3-pointer like Embiid shoot?
Hey, maybe in the future, we never know. But I'm 100% sure no this year. But we'll see.
I like it, man. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about another guy, Wildcat great. One of my favorite people in the world. I think you have a good relationship, Mo Tangara.
Big
Like
Mo,
Big Mo.
yeah.
Yeah, Big Mo. Talk to me about your relationship with Big Mo and what he's taught you over the years.
Big Mo is great. When I was really young, he was the captain of the national team, and he played for my bigger brother on the national team. And he's a guy that I really look up into, because he does so much things back home. He gives back a lot to people, and he sacrificed himself every single time to come play with the national team. And he was there for the team, for the country. And I have a lot of respect for Big Mo. And also he's a great mentor. He comes to Tucson, he saw me. Even last night we were talking on the phone. And he's a great guy. Mo is a great guy.
No, it's definitely. I mean, one of the best human beings I've ever met, man. Every time I get to spend time with him, I just come out feeling smarter and just feeling good about myself. So Mo is
He's
a
great.
great guy, man. So I had Pella on last week, and I kind of talked about one of the biggest strengths of the team this year that I think is the guys that we bring off the bench with you and Justin and Pella, obviously. To talk a little bit about your mentality coming off the bench, what you try to provide, and what do you think you guys have contributed to help the team this year?
I mean, if you take a look at our team, we have a lot of great players, and for us three coming off the bench is important because the first five, they make the standard higher. And for us, when we come in, we have to take it to another level. We can let it down. And for us, every time getting into the game, we have in our mind that those guys set a standard for us, and we have either to maintain that standard or take it to another level. We can drop that standard. So I think that's why our team is full of different guys who can have different nights, and you never know who will have their night, and it's really hard to scout us because any guy can go off and score 20 plus points. So I think me, Pele, and Justin coming off the bench to raise the team, especially we bring a lot of energy off bench, and that's important to have a solid bench.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a heck of a job, man, all year long with that. It gets better almost every game. So, all right, I might be biased, but I'm going to say that I think we have the best front court in the nation with CeeLo, you, and Big Zoo, man. Talk a little bit about your guys' dynamic, just as the big fellas. I love the big fellas. So, talk about what you guys bring on the court, how you work together, and what your relationship is like between you big fellas.
I mean, me, Zoo, and CeeLo. We at the beginning of the year, we used to compete a lot. Even right now we still compete. Because for us that's what makes us even better. But as season get deeper, we don't guard each other as much. At the beginning of the season, we were using to guard each other. We compete, and we help each other out so much because of guarding each other. Me, I have to chase CeeLo, and CeeLo has to guard me. CeeLo has to take my punches, my hits. and we just help each other in different ways, you know. And Zoo can slide to the corner, shoot threes, duck in. Zoo run. Me and Silo have to chase Zoo. So we have like different bigs that do different things, and at the end of the day, just help each single of us to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have a team like that, you have that much talent. I mean, it helps you to bang against those guys every day in practice. That's how it was when I was there. There was always guys that were equal or better than you there. You had to you had to bring it every single day in practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking at you though in your game, like you've improved, greatly since the beginning of the season. From the first game till now. Like, what's helped you, improve that much so quickly, and what's gone into your raise in game from the beginning of the season till now?
Oh, I just trust coaches, because every day after practice, me, Silo, and Zoo, we do 45-minute to 1 hour workout, and I never get tired of it or get bored of it, And I was being patient, and I was just waiting for an opportunity to hit. And when that happened, I just felt like I found my own spot, and it helped me as a person and also help a team. So I feel like for me to take that step is a huge advantage for myself and for the team too.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned it there. It just rolls into my next question for you. Is like, that opportunity came, I think, during the Stanford game. You know what I mean? When Zoo went down and you were able to just elevate your game quickly to
Yeah.
another level. Like, was that when the green light kind of turned on for you and you felt, like you were getting out of your shell a little bit, or was that something coming already and then that
No,
game?
I think a game before that, I think we played home. I can't remember which team was it, but after that game, I felt it coming a little bit.
Yeah,
But I was not sure if that was the right click. I felt it like come a little bit. The coach play me more than usual, and I feel
yeah.
like, oh, maybe I'm doing something different. And when Zoo went down, I was like, well, this is my time. I have to make the best out of this opportunity because those don't come around. And thank like Zoe is a great guy. He's a great player. We need him obviously. But for me to have the opportunity to bring something to a team while Zoe was down was much much needed. And I'm glad I was able to bring it up and stick with that.
Yeah, I mean, you did, especially during that game with Stanford with no fans and the energy you needed to bring. Like you did a hell of a job in that game, man. So you guys, let's talk a little bit about this. You guys have, an opportunity to dominate the glass. You're one of the top rebounding teams in the nation. And when you and CeeLo were in there, you've been able to play a little bit more together lately. When that happens, I know you like playing with other guys too, but when you and CeeLo were in there and you got kind of the Twin Towers in there,
It's
or do you
fun.
just go into beast mode and y'all like, we're going to
Trust
dominate?
me, it's fun because like playing with Silo, I know if I mess something up, he's gonna clean up for me.
Yeah.
'Cause he's just as big as me, or even more bigger. And the same thing for him because he knows if something went wrong, I'm there like to clean up. So I feel like it's so much fun. Whether we two guys play at the same time, and it's hard. It's hard to keep me and Silo off glass. What either is offensive glass or defensive glass is just hard for anybody when we play against.
Keep dominating like that, man. Because I love to watch it when you both get in there together, man. I love to see it. So, okay, to switch gears a little bit. Of all the players, that I've interviewed, this year during the podcast, I think you may be the most qualified to answer this question. Talk about your unique relationship with Coach Lloyd. What that's meant to you, and how he's helped you, and kind of talk about the whole thing, like your whole relationship going back for a few years now.
Yeah, me and Tommy it's been a long, long, long ride. I think we started since 2017 to 2018,
Yeah.
since when I was in Spain, and I had no idea that I was trying to come to US play university because I was so focused on like school and trying to speak Spanish and English, and I did not have like anything more than that. And when I first met Coach Tommy Lloyd, it was back in 2017, I think, in Tenerife. It's on a small island in Spain.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, so he went there, he saw me, we sat down, we talked, And they asked me if I watch college basketball. I was like, no, really. I only watch ACB, but not
Yeah.
like really. And I didn't even know I was Gonzaga. He told me, oh, we Gonzaga, we're one of the best teams in the nation, and we're in Washington, Spokane. I never heard about that. But I
Right.
was like, okay. I was not really interested. But I kept my option open, and I kept talking to him. I said that he was an honest person, and he cares about me, not only as a basketball player, but as a person. And since that day, since that moment, I knew that I found someone who is not trying to take advantage of me. He's just trying to help me to get better as a person, as a basketball player. And we kept talking until I went to Mexico City. And then the year after that, I went to Gonzaga, and here I am.
Here you are dominating, my man. It's a great story, man. I know it's just going to keep building from here on out. Let's go back to the game on Saturday, man. Like that was I think one of the best victories of the season. Oregon played incredibly well. They always play well against us.
Yeah, it's
They
crazy.
they come out of nowhere always every year, play their best game of the season, and you guys really battled through that, made plays to win. Like, what did you learn about the team after that victory on Saturday?
I think we played like professionals, and we took the best punch of Oregon by far of the season. They were ready, they were trying to win that game. So were we, and we were ready. We took all the punches they threw to us, and we responded. We respond every single aspect, and we respect them. We respect their game, and we had a great game plan. And I feel like we executed pretty good. So it was a great game, man. The fans, oh my God, it was crazy. I'm so thankful that I'm here today, and with all of those people behind the team cheering for us in good and bad moments. We're just lucky to have Michael and to have people supporting us.
There's nothing like that feeling, man, when that crowd is roaring and you're on a
Yes,
run and
there's nowhere like Michael. It's different.
not at all, man. Okay, so one last question, a couple more questions, and I'll let you get out of here. But what do you think you guys need to improve on to make a deep run in the tournament, keep things rolling, and really go far into March and possibly April?
I personally will say two things. Our rebounding, we need to get better of that, and also taking care of the ball. And that's a team deal. Big guys either said illegal screen or stay in the key for 3 seconds. All of those are turnovers. And I feel like if each of us cut one turnover down and going to offensive rebound to get some extra position, and I think that's gonna help us a lot to get deep in March.
You guys you're playing great basketball right now. It's really fun to watch, as an alumni and guy who bleeds Arizona basketball, man. You guys are playing exceptionally well right now, so keep it rolling. All right. So before you get out of here, I just had to ask you, that dance when you were at Stanford, you got that and one. That dance, we gonna start calling that the Big O? Is that gonna come back out, or what? Where come from?
I was happy, and I was really happy, and I knew my teammates were happy for me. And when I dunked that, I saw DT. DT started dance. He looked at me, and then he started dancing. I was like, all right, then let me join. And it was a fun moment. Honestly, that road trip changed the way I play basketball and showed me how my teammates really truly love me and how coaches and everyone love me. So it was a fun experience.
Well, that energy and that chemistry on the team, it really jumps off the TV screen, and that's one of the greatest things I think that you guys have is that connection that's going to take you guys a long way this year. So I'll let you get out of here, my man. I appreciate you. I'd love to have you back on again. It's great, and keep dominating and doing your thing out there, Big O.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Man. Thank you.